Hey guys, and welcome into another video. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the new news with David Njoku and his agent Drew Rosenhaus. This is the same agent that represented Antonio Brown, requesting that his client David Njoku be traded by the beginning of camp. He wants to begin camp on a separate team, and of course this isn't huge news. David Njoku really hasn't been much in his NFL career. He's shown flashes. He was a first-round pick back in 2017, I believe. So it's not huge news, but hey, it's NFL news, and I don't mind talking about it. And it's always fun to talk about trades when they're able to be happening. So, of course, if you guys are new to the channel, you're part of the 99% of viewers that watch these videos but don't subscribe. What are you doing? Please be sure to subscribe for all NFL content. We're going to be starting NBA content soon as well. So make sure to look out for that, fantasy football, Madden, etc. But today we're going to be doing just kind of going through some teams that I think that could use a guy like David Njoku. I got 7 teams on the board, and we're going to get right into it here with the first one. And also, this is just going to be a quick note on this situation as well. The first team that I think he could go to, not in any order, but the Washington Redskins. There's a bit of a controversy going around with the Washington Redskins name right now. I'm not really going to get into it because here's the thing. I could care less what a team name is. As long as it's not my favorite team, I'm not going to worry about it. But here's the thing: one, you can't get rid of all the old and current merch that teams and players already have. Fans as well. It's just so getting rid of the name. It's not really going to get rid of the name. Everyone's still going to be able to wear their stuff. It might cause a different commotion, and so I don't really care which way it goes. If they change the name, if they don't. But I do think it is worth pointing out that FedEx had no problem buying the name rights to the team or for the stadium. Prior, they never had a problem. They never came out and did this before. It just seems kind of odd that, with what kind of state the country is in right now and how divided they are, especially racially, for them to come out. I think it's just more of a PR ploy to kind of get something done, kind of fix this agenda kind of thing. And, it doesn't seem like they actually really care. I think they just are trying to push this thing to kind of get a public opinion swayed or try to do something. Because, they've owned the rights to the stadium name for how long? And they've never done this before. They've never threatened to not associate with them anymore. It just seems kind of odd that it's happening right now. But back to David Njoku. That's all I want to say about the Redskins. Don't need to say anything else. Not even going to put Redskins or anything in the name. But anyway, David Njoku, a reason I think that he can go to the Redskins here is that the Redskins are a very, very young team. They are about 2 years away from being a competitive team in the NFL, in my opinion. They have a lot of pieces that they have to fix. Running back position is a big question mark. We don't know who's going to be the starting running back. Quarterback is Haskins the answer. We'll see in year 2 if it's worth it or if they have to go somewhere else. Offensive line, especially with Trent Williams being gone now, it still needs some work, Defensive line is amazing. Secondary could use some help as well. But, overall, the team it doesn't have too many pieces. So using a guy like David Njoku, I think right now David Njoku's trade value, I think at the best is probably a 4th-round pick. If a team pays more than that, I don't think it's worth it. But he really hasn't done much in his career. So a 4th-round pick or like a 5th and a 7th or something like that, or even throwing a player in with a 6th or something, I don't know. There's different ways you could do it, but I think that right now David Njoku's worth around that. So for the Redskins to send that, right now at the tight end position, their starter projected to be is Jeremy Sprinkle, who really hasn't done much in his career either. He's been a career probably 3rd on the depth chart. So now they're getting thrust into the starting job. Just seems kind of weird. As well as Thaddeus Moss, their undrafted free agent. He has a lot of upside, but I think he's still a couple of years away from being an NFL caliber player. So he'll spend a lot of time probably on the practice squad. I don't think he'll stay on the Redskins, depending on how he plays. But yeah, I think that this would be a good spot for him because, hey, Njoku fits that mold. You probably won't have to pay him too much when his paycheck is due. I think he'll be he's a first-round pick, and he's shown flashes of that talent. To have him there to be a set piece with McLaurin, I think is going to be very big for whoever becomes the quarterback, whether it's Haskins, Kyle Allen, or someone else. I think it's very important for them to have a check-down guy in a David Njoku to be that starting tight end, and it'll make David Njoku happy. He'll be going there. He'll be a starting tight end. He's not going into a better or worse situation the Browns have been in, so I don't think that would draw too much of a thing. So the Redskins are one of the options that I have. Second on my list, I do have the Green Bay Packers. Now, again, it's another team where he could kind of fit the mold. They're kind of going out with the old, in with the new. Drafted Jordan Love, so obviously Aaron Rodgers' successor is there. We don't know how long it's going to be, but this is a guy where he fits it. He's going to be young. He's around the same age as Aaron Jones, the same age as a little bit younger than Devontae Adams, obviously, but a little bit older as Jordan Love. Everyone's kind of in that mold, in that time frame where they're in their somewhere around the mid-20s, So David Njoku can fit in there pretty well, be that starting tight end. He'd be going over Jay Sternberger and Josiah DeGuara. They drafted DeGuara in day 2, I believe. So, I don't think it's going to be a starting caliber pick, and Sternberger really hasn't shown anything that he should be a starting tight end in this league. So I think that'd be a solid pickup for them. Then you go over to the next team that I have is the Carolina Panthers. Again, another team where they've kind of gone out with the old and with the new. They got Teddy Bridgewater there. Christian McCaffrey's the star of the league right now. Even Kuechly's gone. I mean, they're definitely in a younger phase. So getting a tight end like David Njoku to replace what Greg Olsen has left there, I think he's going to be better than Ian Thomas, but you can still run Ian Thomas out there as a 2 tight end set. They have Chris Manhertz behind Thomas, so they really don't have much depth behind him. So I think that getting him, like I said, probably 4th, 5th round pick would help out that offense a lot. You give Teddy B another weapon to throw to, along with obviously McCaffrey, but Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore. I mean, this would be a very, very, very good offense to be on, and I think that he would have a lot of success there. Another team is the New Orleans Saints. I almost said Carolina Panthers twice. New Orleans Saints. This one is probably the least likely out of all the teams, I'd say, but Jared Cook's, in his latter years. We don't really know how much longer Cook's going to be playing. He's still playing very well. He had a lot of touchdowns last year. I don't know if the production's going to stay. But for Njoku to go behind Jared Cook and kind of learn behind him, I know that they do a lot of different sets in New Orleans, so he'll be able to get on the field a lot. They did just draft Adam Trautman, who I think has a lot of upside. He's one of my sleeper picks for being a good tight end in the NFL, so I'm interested to see what he can do, as well as Josh Hill there. But if the Saints were to make a move for him, I mean, the Saints are really in win-now mode, so they're trying to get as much talent as they can. Jared Cook sometimes does get injuries. Njoku will be able to fill that hole pretty well. I think that he would be a good set there. And obviously when Jared Cook, it is time for him to go, Njoku would be right there to fill in for Jameis Winston's new target. So that'd be fun to see. Then we go over to the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals made a lot of good moves this offseason, drafted very well, have a lot of talent around the team. I mean, talent is everywhere around the league. So what are we going to do? Add more talent here. They have Max Williams, Dan Arnold at tight end. They did pay Max Williams, so he's there to stay. Dan Arnold, he only played really one game, showed a good amount of upside, but we don't really know what we're getting. Njoku's a first-rounder. We know what the talent is. It's just a matter of staying on the field. Obviously, he had a fallout with Freddie Kitchens last year and stuff, so that was a lot of the reason why he wasn't on the field. But you get him to Arizona along with, DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald, Kyler Murray. I mean, this is a guy who will be able to transform that offense even more, and they'd get more talent on that offense, as well as a growing offensive line. So the more tight ends, the better, I think. The Cardinals would be a great place for him. I think it would be a good spot. I mean, even when you look at the Browns, they're looking for a corner. I mean, maybe you can get Njoku and like a first-round pick and send Patrick Peterson as well or something like that. There's different ways to get a trade done, but I think the Cardinals are in a great spot to even add more talent than what they already have. 2 more teams for you. I got the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow is the new quarterback. Why not get him as many weapons as you can? They do have some young talent in Drew Sample, and then C.J. Uzomah has been there for a while. I just don't know how they're going to really run the tight ends. Right now, I think Uzomah is the starter. He really didn't show enough for me to be a starting caliber tight end. Drew Sample, if they believe in him, cool. If they don't, I mean, getting Njoku would be a very good pickup for them because, I mean, he'd probably keep his house in Ohio, which, I mean, is good for him, or his apartment, wherever he's staying at. But he joined the Bengals, obviously, with Joe Burrow there and everything. The hardest part about that is it's an in-division team, so it's harder to get to the Bengals, but they could be using a tight end as well. And then last but not least, I do have the Houston Texans being the last team I think he could go to. The loss of DeAndre Hopkins leaves a lot of open targets to go. They did add Brandon Cooks, obviously, with Kenny Stills, Will Fuller there, hopefully all healthy. But Jordan Akins, I really do like Jordan Akins. I think that he's a very underutilized tight end for the Texans, but Darren Fells is their starter. I think if they don't believe in Akins, they don't want Darren Fells. I mean, Darren Fells is all right, but he shouldn't be a starter at this day and age. He's more of a blocking tight end for me. Get a guy like Njoku to help you out. He'll be able to add more production in that offense with the departure of DeAndre Hopkins, give Deshaun Watson a lot more availability to do more with the football. I think that'd be a lot better for Njoku and for the offense in Houston as well. So let me know what you think about this trade. Let me know what you think about all these scenarios. What's a team that you think he'd be a good fit on? There's other teams that might need him, but I think these are the best teams or the biggest needed teams, at least at this moment in time. We'll see what happens with it as we follow it on. But yeah, let me know what you think about David Njoku as in general. Is he worth trading for? Should the team just wait for him to get cut? What doesn't happen? Because, I mean, there's reports now that the Browns don't even want to get rid of him. They might just keep him. So, it's a request. They don't have to fulfill that request. But a lot of times when players request trades, it's better to just get them out of there. So let me know what you think about the David Njoku situation. Let me know what you think about the whole situation around which team, what scenario do you like the best anyway, is the best way I'm trying to say it. But anyway, like I said, if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave it a like, as it does help me out a bunch. We're going to be coming at you with a NBA quiz most likely tomorrow, as I already have that recorded. Once again, it was supposed to get uploaded yesterday, but then the Madden stuff came out. Then it was supposed to get uploaded today, but then I figured the David Njoku stuff's current. Might as well talk about the current events happening in the NFL. And then, something else happens tomorrow, hey, we'll talk about that and we'll push it back again. But we do have an NBA quiz coming out soon, so be on the lookout for that. And of course, if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe. It does help me out a bunch. If you didn't, just refresh the page, check it out again. Let me know what you think a second time. And without further ado, that is going to be for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.